An hour.
Oh, we've already done an hour?
Yes,
well, we have to
sir.
fucking carry on then, because we barely talked about what we intended to talk about today.
This is true. What was it? Oh, we're going to talk about successful stories.
All right, so people who are extremely successful and why. Let's do one each.
Sure.
I'll do Mo, you do Dana.
Okay.
Right? So, we want to talk about people who are extremely successful and why. What do they do that's unique to them that makes, or what about their personality that makes them hyper successful? And for this week's episode, I picked Mo the comedian.
Viraj picked Dana White.
Yeah, Mo Gilligan. The reason I go for Mo Gilligan has this incredibility.
Not just Julie's.
He's so likable. He's such a likable person.
Are we talking that the character Mo Gilligan?
Yeah.
Mo the comedian.
Mo the comedian. In terms of like, he just radiates positive energy, and that makes him an incredible presenter because you like him instantly, and it's so unique to him. And what's interesting about him, it surprises me how few people just think he was an overnight success, because they see he blew up on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
But people don't know he was doing stand-up comedy for like 10 years before he blew up on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, people don't know that. Like the amount of years that went into getting that good.
I thought, because obviously his famous one is like, Julie, get me a couple cans. I just thought that was his viral moment. I didn't realise that it was a whole, decade of putting in work.
So Mo Gilligan had started doing stand-up in, I believe, 2009. And he started off just like everyone. He just started on the comedy scene doing open mics. And then he got his first break, on something called Sunday Show, which was a big comedy night on the black circuit.
Okay.
Right. It was every Sunday, and they'd get like 200 people there. And he was the host of it, right?
Was it his show or was he just the host?
He was the host of the show. And comedians would come down, rappers would come down, all sorts of people come down, and it'd be a wild show.
That's incredible.
At their height, they had hundreds of people there. Maybe they even had 1,000 people at one point, who knows? They don't do them anymore, and they were never recorded and put online. So now they're just myths and legends, right, about these shows. I can hear about them from comedians who are still doing it, like people like Junior would tell me about them and stuff. And he was the host of it as a young guy. Before anyone knew him, he'd go up there and he'd host that show. And hosting that show gives you thick skin, because apparently those crowds were savage.
Okay.
So he had to learn how to tame a crowd like that and get people like that on the side. So it's no wonder he's so good at working with different kinds of people and making people like him and understanding him, because he did the Sunday Show for so long.
Okay.
And people don't realize that about him. They just assume that he did the Instagram videos and he became an overnight success, which isn't the case. And another impressive thing about that is he had his moment in the sun with the couple of can stuff, but anyone can have their moment in the sun. Anyone can have a viral video, but it's then how he leveraged it.
Yes.
And then turned it into a full-on career, to the point now where Mo has like 3 Channel 4 shows, right, at primetime television spots, which means Mo is now on Channel 4 basically 365 days a year, right? He's always on television in a prime spot on television, which is going to eventually make him one of the most famous people in this country, if he isn't already. So impressive. And it goes back to that old saying, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success.
Mm-hmm.
But his ability to turn a viral video into a full-on career that has so many different facets to it. He's got his stand-up comedy, he has his Netflix show, he has his world tour now, he has his Channel 4 talk shows.
He's got his podcast.
He's got his podcast. He's turned himself into a business, and it's a prime example of what professionalism, savviness, and putting yourself in the right position at the right time and taking your opportunities can get you. It's truly incredible.
It is.
So fair play to Mo Gilligan.
Mo, we're looking forward to having you on here at some point.
Maybe one day.
Maybe
one day.
No, we're going to set, not maybe, it will happen.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Sit down with him and just pick his brain on everything. From someone that isn't in comedy, that is just kind of just venturing into it, and someone that's, been in the game will have been in the game for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And having you'll have war stories, he'll have war stories, and it'll be me kind of just sitting there like asking those ignorant questions that people were usually too scared to ask. And I like that. I'd like that at some point.
Another thing I like about him is his humility, because he's clearly caked with money, right? He's loaded. He's probably a multimillionaire, but he's still very clearly grateful for every opportunity he gets, and he's so grateful for the people who support him, and he's always giving back to his supporters, which I love.
Does he?
All the time, all the time. So when he did the what was his lockdown show? He had like a lockdown show on Instagram Live, right, where people would come in and he'd like give them like, it would be like games, right, like quizzes and stuff, and he'd give them prizes like PlayStation 4. That he was paying for from his own pocket. Obviously he's rich, but still a nice gesture, right? And it got so popular on Instagram Live, Channel 4 gave him a show
Just doing that.
just doing that during lockdown. So he had a lockdown game show. So while we're in lockdown, Channel 4 made a lockdown game show and he filmed it in his living room.
That's sick.
Really inspiring stuff, man. So Mo Gilligan is the master of leveraging situations like that.
I think Dana's got him beat,
Yeah.
but that's not a bad way to go.